So you want to buy a dating app. One American company owns Tinder, Hinge, Match, OkCupid, Plenty of Fish, and about 15 others. Every app that swipes against another app is the same business. The company is called Match Group. It trades on the Nasdaq under the ticker MOUCH. Barry Diller's holding company, IAC, spun it off completely in June 2020. In February 2021, when the pandemic and the Bumble IPO briefly turned dating apps into the hottest sector in tech, Match Group was worth approximately $52 billion. 5 years later, in early 2026, it is worth around $8 to $9 billion. An 85% decline in 5 years on the same product portfolio from the same company in a market with more single people using more dating apps than ever before. That is the entire dating app business in one paragraph. One company owns everything anyone might swipe on, and even as demand for its product went up, the company lost most of its market value. If you bought a dating app tomorrow, this is what you'd actually be buying. Then there's the origin. Because before we get into how the business works, you need to know one thing about Tinder, the app that made Match Group into a $50 billion company. Tinder was not a startup. Tinder was built inside Match Group itself. In 2012, IAC, the parent conglomerate that owned Match.com, was running a startup incubator called Hatch Labs in Los Angeles. A 25-year-old employee at Hatch named Sean Rad, working with an engineer named Jonathan Badeen and his high school friend Justin Mateen, built a mobile app that let users swipe left or right on photos of nearby singles. IAC funded it. IAC provided the legal, the marketing, the infrastructure. In September 2012, Tinder launched at USC via sorority-to-sorority marketing tours run by a fourth Tinder co-founder, a 22-year-old named Whitney Wolfe. Within 18 months, Tinder was doing 1 billion swipes a day. Match Group had funded the product that was about to become the largest dating app on Earth. And Match Group already owned it. There was no acquisition, there was no bidding war. Tinder was always Match's property. Then there's what happened next, the lawsuit. In August 2018, Sean Rad and 9 other former Tinder employees sued IAC and Match Group for $2 billion in New York State Supreme Court. The core allegation was that Match Group had deliberately manipulated Tinder's internal valuation in 2017 to reduce the buyout owed to the founder employees under their stock option agreements. The complaint said Tinder was actually worth approximately $13.2 billion at the time of the buyout. Match Group had valued it at approximately $3 billion. The delta was what Match saved by keeping Rad and his co-founders' options low. Rad also alleged Match had fired several Tinder executives shortly before the valuation trigger. Deliberately, he said, to eliminate them from the payout calculation. Match Group counterclaimed the valuation had been set by independent bankers. In December 2021, the parties settled for approximately $441 million. Individual payouts were never disclosed. The lesson, if you missed it, build a company inside your own parent, then use your own valuation authority to reduce what you owe the people who built it. Then settle. Then there's Whitney Wolfe Herd, the revenge story. Wolfe had been VP of marketing at Tinder from the launch in 2012 until April 2014, when she sued Justin Mateen and Sean Rad for sexual harassment and forced departure. She settled for approximately $1 million in cash, plus Tinder stock. In December 2014, she founded a competing dating app called Bumble. The gimmick was a small one. On Bumble, women had to message first in heterosexual matches. The product was, effectively, a reskinned Tinder. On February 11, 2021, Whitney Wolfe Herd took Bumble public on the Nasdaq. The IPO priced at $43 a share. The stock opened at $76 and closed at $70. Market cap peaked around $14 billion. At age 31, Whitney Wolfe Herd became the youngest self-made female billionaire in history. Match Group had built the app she was fired from, and she had built the only major dating app Match Group did not own. By early 2026, Bumble was worth approximately $1 billion. 93% below its IPO peak, Wolfe had returned as CEO in March 2025 to try to save it. Then there's the freemium ladder, the actual mechanism by which Match Group makes $3.5 billion a year. Tinder is free to download, free to swipe, free to match. What is not free is being visible. A basic Tinder user gets a limited number of daily likes, an algorithm that shows them a random subset of nearby users, and no way to see who has already liked them. Tinder Plus, $10 a month, removes the like limit. Tinder Gold, $30 a month, lets you see who has already liked you before you swipe. Tinder Platinum, $40 a month, gives you priority visibility in other users' feeds and lets you message before you match. Then there is Boost, $3 to $6 for 30 minutes of priority visibility. Super Like, $2 to send a signal of stronger interest. And in 2023, Match Group launched Match Group Select at $500 a month for elite users the company had verified. Every one of those features exists to sell you what the free version deliberately withholds. Match Group's own investor materials describe the strategy openly. Expand paid subscription tiers, add a la carte purchases, gamify the app, extract more per user rather than expand the user base. Then there's the tax on top, the Apple and Google problem. Every subscription purchased through the iOS App Store or Google Play routes through the platform holder, Apple or Google, who takes a 30% commission before Match Group sees the money. On a $30 Tinder Gold monthly subscription bought through the App Store, Match Group receives $21. Apple takes $9. In May 2022, Match Group sued Google in federal court, arguing the Play Store's requirement to route in-app purchases through Google's billing system violated antitrust law. The district court, in a rare early ruling against Google, issued a preliminary injunction. Match parked approximately $40 million a quarter that would have gone to Google in an escrow account during litigation. In April 2024, the parties settled. Match got some carve-outs, Google kept most of its architecture, and Match dropped the case. Apple still takes its full 30% on iOS. Match did not sue Apple. Then there's the engagement paradox, the problem the entire business is built on top of. A dating app has one job: to help two people find each other and leave the app. When the user finds their match, they stop swiping, they stop subscribing. Their revenue goes to zero. The business, on the other hand, only works when users stay, when they keep opening the app, when they keep buying boosts, when they keep renewing Tinder Gold. Match Group's own quarterly earnings call metrics focus on daily active users, monthly active users, payers, average revenue per user, and session duration. The company does not report on how many users found their partner. It never has. On Valentine's Day, 2024, 6 U.S. Tinder and Hinge users filed a class action lawsuit in Northern California under the caption "Smith vs. Match Group." The complaint alleges that Match deliberately designs its apps to be psychologically addictive: infinite scrolling, variable ratio reward loops, artificial scarcity, targeted notifications, using techniques comparable to slot machines. Discovery in that case reportedly turned up internal Match Group documents showing engagement optimization takes precedence over match quality. The plaintiffs argue Match Group's product is deliberately built to prevent the outcome the user came looking for. The case is still ongoing. Last one. The CEO churn. In the 4 years between February 2021 and February 2025, the period during which Match Group's market cap fell from $52 billion to around $10 billion, the company had 3 CEOs. Shah Dubey exited in May 2022 after Tinder growth slowed. Bernard Kim, from Zynga, took over and cycled through 4 major reorganizations, presided over a roughly 25% Tinder daily active user decline, and exited in February 2025 under pressure from activist investor Elliott Management. Spencer Rascoff, co-founder of Zillow, took over as CEO. Same product, same brands. Same market of hundreds of millions of single people, 3 CEOs in 4 years. The company that owns every dating app you have ever heard of, except one, cannot figure out how to stop losing value. So look at what you actually bought the last time you paid Match Group. You did not buy a chance to find a partner. You did not buy help finding one. You paid an American company for a subscription to a product deliberately designed not to give you what its marketing says you signed up for. The successful outcome, meeting someone and leaving the app, kills the business. Every product design decision at Match Group has to solve that contradiction. Every boost you bought, every Tinder Gold auto-renewal, every artificial scarcity notification pushed to your lock screen was engineered to keep the customer in the swipe. Sean Rad built Tinder inside Match Group's incubator and then sued them for $2 billion for undervaluing what he built. Whitney Wolfe Herd was pushed out and became the youngest female billionaire by building a competitor Match didn't own. Match Group is now on its 3rd CEO in 4 years, while its stock sits 85% below peak. The dating app is the hook, the subscription is the business, and the successful match is the enemy.